how does somebody like you, from your lens, how do you view today's economy and what's taking place?
Well, first of all, the reason I wrote Rich Dad, Poor Dad was because I knew this time was coming. And we have, as a world, I've never been here before. And so is it a spooky time? Damn yeah, it is probably the most dangerous time ever, 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 ever. There's nothing to compare it to because there's never been a world economy before. For example, 100 years ago, if there was a stock market crash in England, it didn't affect anybody. But now the U.S. market goes down, the world goes down. So plus with social media and all this we're doing now, and so we've never been here before. And I'm excited about it because I make more money in crashes than I do when they go up. So, but for the average person, they'll get wiped out. I'm afraid at the worst, I hope I'm wrong, but I think we're heading for a global depression. And now the good news is that for those who are prepared for it, you'll do better. But the last crash in 2008, I was on Wolf Blitzer's program 6 months before Lehman Brothers went down. And I said Lehman was going down. And nobody listened, but it went down. And so I've been expecting this market to go down for quite a while. And I'm concerned about my fellow human beings. But as you know, most Americans are clueless. They don't know what's going on. But if you travel the world, I just got back from Africa and China and Japan and New Zealand. People are scared. Australia hasn't had a recession in 30 years. It's in recession. But Americans are fat, dumb, and happy, having a good time, which is good. But I'm concerned. That's all I can say. I'd be afraid if I had kids.
You'd be afraid about having kids today?
If I had kids. No. I think as an adult, you can go hungry, but you don't want to see your kids go hungry. And that's what's going to happen.
You think it's going to get that bad? Yeah. Let me ask you this. What is the biggest factor that's going to cause that?
Well, the reason I wrote Rich Dad, Poor Dad is the U.S. dollar. That's my book over there, Fake, which came out last year. Fake money, fake teachers, fake assets. And the U.S. dollar is fake. Never in the history of the world has any fake money ever survived. And we're doing the same thing. We just keep printing this money. And when I wrote Rich Dad, Poor Dad almost 25 years ago, people said I didn't know what I was talking about. I said savers would be losers. Now, today, there's quantitative easing, which is counterfeiting money. Mm-hmm. And then you have zero interest rates. And people are still saving money. You're nuts. They just printed, I think, $500 billion in September of this year because the repo market is going down. And the average guy goes, well, what's the repo market? They don't know. So that's why it's fake money, fake teachers, fake assets. Our education system, it has been my rant forever. Why don't we teach people about money? Why is it? We all use money, but we don't teach people about it. So that's why I'm concerned. And I wrote Who Stole My Pension because was the reason I wrote Rich Dad, Poor Dad. The two authors here, me and myself, Edward Siddell, we both had dads who lost everything. And when I was in my 20s and my poor dad lost everything, it scarred me. So I had just come back from Vietnam in 73. My dad was unemployed, poor dad was unemployed, and he tells me to go fly for the effing airlines. I said, are you kidding me? And he says, go back to school, get your master's and get your PhD. I said, are you kidding me? Here the guy is unemployed. He's got no pension. He's got no paycheck. And he's telling me to go back to school. I said, what, learn nothing? And those guys who, my friends who flew for United Airlines, they're broke today. Their pensions were stolen. U.S. Air, same thing. You look at what's going on in Paris today as we talk, they're rioting. Millions of people are rioting because of pensions. Japan, they're rioting because of pensions.
Terrible. You see them, it's terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Americans, on how my 401k is doing, I'm going, gee, I'd be a little bit worried, but they don't know. Americans live in a fishbowl. Everybody sees in, but Americans can't see out. This book, Who Stole My Pension, I write about what is America's number one export. Do you know what it is? Toxic assets. 2008 was Wall Street.
Toxic assets. Toxic assets.
CDOs, MPSs.
Yes.
Derivatives.
Mm-hmm.
And so what is it today? Wall Street just looted the pensions. So this book, Who Stole My Pension, it's like I said, my co-author is an SEC attorney. And he got sick and tired of seeing all these bankers loot the pensions and get paid bonuses. And then the labor union guys who manage the funds get paid bonuses. And the guys who manage it get paid bonus. Meanwhile, the workers get screwed. So when this next crash comes, it's going to be horrible. Now you look at the other guy. So there's two authors. Ted Siddell, SEC attorney. His father was a CIA operative in Uganda, and Idi Amin killed his father. So his family went broke because there was no body. He couldn't collect anything. Whereas my father ran for political office against the governor of Hawaii, and he got crushed. And the governor says, "You're no job, no paycheck, no pension." So my old man's broke. So Ted and I are about the same age, and we come back. He says, "My father has no money, and my family's starving." My family was starving because my father lost everything. So it kind of put us on edge. You know what I mean? I don't trust my government. I'm not a Republican or Democrat. I like Trump, but they can't save me.
So let me ask you, the average person's watching this right now saying, okay, Robert, I'm not like you. What do I do to be prepared for a time like this?
Well, first of all, everybody can do something, but they won't. And that's the problem. As I covered in Fake, my first investment was a gold coin in Hong Kong. I bought a Krugerrand. I was flying off an aircraft carrier in Vietnam, and I went to Hong Kong and I bought a gold Krugerrand. The date was 1972. The reason the date's important is because in 1972 it was illegal for Americans to own gold. But that gold coin today is worth almost $2,000.
The one gold coin?
Yeah, and I still have it. So
what'd you pay for it?
$50.
$50 to $2,000. 1972?
Yeah, I just sat there. So I have and so I never, because I understand money, that, quantitative counterfeiting and zero interest rates, I don't trust the dollar. So for most of my life, I've saved gold and silver, and not ETFs. I stay completely out of, I know that's your world, but my world is completely into the hard assets. So I have millions in gold coins and silver coins. I just kept saving it because I don't trust the dollar. So everybody can buy a silver coin today for $20. A silver eagle is $20. But how many people will go to a coin shop and buy it? Probably none. Less than 0.1% of Americans own precious metals. And silver today is 50% below its all-time high. So silver is the biggest bargain sitting in the market as we speak today. It's about $20. It should go to 50. So at $20, and I tell my friends, I go, "Oh, yeah, think about it." That's the problem. So everybody can afford $20. Kids can afford $20. The thing is, people won't do it. And you know that too. When you deal with people, most people are pretty sedentary. They want to do the same old thing. Sure. Happy, nothing's going to happen. Oh, he's just trying to scare me. But I was talking to my doctor last night. He says, "You've been saying this stuff for 25 years. I never listened to you." I said, "Well." He says, "Now what do I do?" Because his 401k, as we cover in this book here, the average firefighter has about $1.2 million in pension, but there's nothing there.
What do you mean?
Their payout's going to be about $1.2 million.
Meaning what? Meaning they don't have the money to pay the benefits?
It was stolen. It was stolen by Wall Street. In 10 years, 2030, 2 billion baby boomers across the world will retire. Japan's broke. Argentina's broke. China's broke. Italy's broke. Germany's broke. All these old guys are retiring. And the stock market, I live in a fairly exclusive place in South Carolina, and I was talking to my friends there. I said, "Oh, we love Trump. We love Trump. Stock market's at all-time high." And I said, "Yeah, but so is our debt all-time high." See, they watch the stock market. They don't watch the debt. And the repo market, the repurchase market, is one of the biggest markets in the world. And the Fed is bailing that one out now. So the average American is watching the stock market, but not what's really going on. So that's why I wrote Who Stole My Pension? So that means retirees, their kids, taxpayers will pay for the heist. The tragedy is, which I cover in Fake and Who Stole My Pension, so you have this